She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. We are all so very blessed that you decided to join us today. Hey, does your health have anything to do with your success? It's a good question, isn't it? Does it really matter if you take care of yourself? What do you think? I have recently found, and you maybe have been hearing me talk about this, that, I just kind of let myself go for the last couple of years. Not like totally let myself go, but according to my standards, right? And I found that being self-disciplined, which is something that I practiced for a lot of years of my life, we decided I'm going to eat with my husband. Whew, my jeans were not happy with me. Neither were pretty much everything in my closet wasn't happy with me. And then I started to toy with the idea that, hey, it doesn't really matter. I'm getting older, Well, yeah. Bottom line was I noticed that my self-discipline had gone out the window, not just with food, but it started to go out the window with other things as well. And then what I really noticed is I started to feel more tired. I started to feel, just like, I started to kind of lose that edge. I started to lose passion. I started to just kind of get ho-hum about a lot of things. Have you ever been in that place? Maybe it has to do with the food you're eating. I know it had to do with the food I was eating, that's for sure. I found myself like wanting to sleep more, wanting to sleep longer. And I found that my thinking was not as clear as well. And, it's so funny is my husband complains about things like that, but he doesn't always change the way he eats. So recently I decided I need to lose weight. I'm going to get serious about this. And I've dropped 14 pounds and I'm excited about that. And it's not come off overnight, which I don't know how I feel about that. And the reason why it hasn't come off overnight is because I am an idiot in that this is what I've done. Okay, so I eat really good Monday through Friday, and then there's the weekend, right? Every Friday night, we have a big celebration, Shabbat, where the whole family's over, plus a few friends, and it's about 18 people. I mean, that's a small party for us, but it's about 18 people, and I make fresh, homemade challah every single Friday night, not one, but two. They're this big, okay? They're about 6 inches high and about 18 inches long. I make 2 of these. It's beautiful braided bread that makes the best French toast the next morning. Okay. And we just have this huge spread. Okay. Just, different cheeses and olives and wine and just really good food. Right. And then the next night is my date night with my husband. And of course he likes for us to, go out to eat. And then, of course, they ask you if you want dessert and, the salads that are on the menu is like 1,000 calories, right? So then here's the first night where you blow it. Here's the second night, and then it's Sunday, right? And on Sunday, what do you do? So I found myself, and then there's my sister that came to town, and my dad came and stayed for a month, and, it's the first time my sister had ever been in my house, and we made tamales. We just went crazy, and I took her to the favorite places to eat, and so here I would lose the weight I gained on the weekends. I went, wow, I guess I found a great weight management program. Eat really good 5 days a week, or 4 days a week, and then those other days, just, blah. Well, then I finally got upset with myself. In fact, it was April 25th, where I'm done. I have to make it through the first weekend. And I did. And I was like, I have to make it through the first date night. And then I did. You see, the first weekend I was out of town, so it made it easier to stick to my plan. So I managed to lose 14 pounds, and I did that in about a month's time, which is not fast at all. It's, probably around where it should be, sort of. Anyway, for healthy. Yeah. And then, so I reached this goal, and my stomach is flat again. I'm fitting in my jeans. I'm feeling good. I can see, some kind of definition of my arms, even though I don't work out. That's just because my body fat's going down. And then, the timing of today's show could not be more perfect, friend, is what I'm telling you. It couldn't be more perfect. I literally sit down in the studio. I take a look at the content and go, because I just blew it last weekend. I totally blew it. I blew it Friday night and I blew it Saturday. Yesterday I did a little bit better, but I did have a root beer float. But I still was within the quantity of, let's say, caloric count that I should have been. It was a small root beer float, but I still hit my goal. Anyway, but now I need to lose the 2 or 3 pounds that I gained on Friday and Saturday night. So the timing couldn't be more perfect. So let me ask you a question. Are you one of those, like Mahatma Gandhi, which, by the way, I love that man's story. He says, it is health that is real wealth, not pieces of gold and silver. You see, when you don't have your health, you've heard this before, when you don't have your health, you don't have anything, right? There's a recent Gallup poll found that 51% of the adults American adults want to lose weight, but only 25% say that they are seriously working towards that goal. We have one of our clients, longtime faithful client for the last 10 years she's been with us. Her name is Carmen O'Quinn. And she's actually been competing in a weight loss story. And we're going to get her on the show. We have to get her on the show. She's lost 160 pounds in 13 months. This is a girl who was never, ever going to lose weight. She just didn't care. She just did not care about losing weight at all. And all of a sudden, a year and a half ago, she just went, I'm going to do this. And she did it. And to be honest with you, it's been about a year, I think, that she's had it off or close to it. Yeah, it has been a year. When I saw her for the first time after she lost 160 pounds, I just was like, that's not her. I mean, I could have passed her on the street and not have known that it was her because that's how different she looks. She's an itty bitty, tiny little thing. And she did it very, very healthy. And so I've been applying some of the things that she did. We're going to get her on the show because her story is just amazing. Yeah, we have to get her on the show. In fact, maybe we'll get her on the show right away. Anyway, but there's a lot of people who say they want to lose weight, and then there's some that don't care about losing weight, and there's some that try some very expensive ways to do it, and then there's the failure. I started in the weight loss business 25 years ago, so weight loss has been like a part of my life for the last 25 years, and I've used food to maintain a size 6. Even when I gained 20 pounds, I'm still in the size 6. That's what I was busting out of. I rather the size 6 be loose than what it was 2 months ago, that's for sure. Anyway, so we're talking about weight loss. And so I want to talk to you about you. What is your number one challenge with losing weight and hitting that goal? So let's help each other, okay? Because you're accountability for me today. That's the bottom line. So we're going to Mike Haney from York, Pennsylvania. Mike, where are you at on this, idea of health being true wealth instead of gold and silver? And, are you one of those like me that needs to trim down another 10 pounds?
I need about 30 pounds, honestly.
Dude, can you believe that you have 30 pounds to lose? Like, did you ever think that would ever happen to you?
Never in a million years.
Right? What happened?
I want to give the excuse of life, but it's an excuse.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean, life? How does life get in the way of your health goals?
I had a couple kids. And
Wait a second. Mike, you are a man.
Okay. My ex-wife had a couple kids, and I ate when she ate. I got pregnant. She had the baby. I had the food baby.
Isn't it crazy that, because right now I have one of my daughters that's pregnant. That's where the root beer float came from. She has this thing. She goes, Mom, you want to hear my worst idea of the day? I don't think I want to hear your worst idea of the day. The next time she comes to me with that, I'm going to say, no, keep your worst idea to yourself. It is very dangerous that I am trying to lose another 10 pounds and you don't have the same goal. All right. So you're saying that when your wife got pregnant, you chose to eat along with her.
Yes.
And bam, here's 30 pounds.
Absolutely.
So what are you going to do about it?
Starting to make smarter choices. I'm actually at the grocery store right now buying fruits and vegetables.
Nice. What are you buying?
Fruits and vegetables.
Oh, okay. Stay away from the middle of the store.
I'm trying.
No, dude. Come on, Yoda's going to talk to you. There is no try. There's just do.
Yep. Only do or do not.
Exactly. All right, so you got to shop the perimeter, the outside of the grocery store. That's where everything is alive. Yes.
I can do that.
Fruits and vegetables, the meats, the cheeses, right? All the healthy foods stay out of the middle. What's in the middle?
Bad stuff.
Soda's in the middle. Packaged foods is in the middle. chips, those kettle barbecue chips are in the middle.
Now I'm salivating. Stop.
Ice cream is in the middle. Tater tots are in the middle. I'm not being a good friend right now, am I?
You are.
Macaroni and cheese.
I left that section. I'm in the kids section.
Good job. No, that's where the mac and cheese is. Get out of there. Mac and cheese. I have chills right now. Look, my hair is standing up on my arm. I swear. I wish the camera would zoom in and get this. But I just said mac and cheese, Mike, and my hair on my legs. Well, I don't have any hair on my legs, but the little thingies, the follicles, whatever they are. I shaved yesterday. Anyway, so it's all standing up because of mac and cheese. Look at my unhealthy relationship with food.
Oh, man.
I love mac and cheese, but it has to be the kind you have to make. And you know what? Kraft is now making organic macaroni and cheese.
See, that makes it want to be healthy.
But they're lying. It's still bad for you. Even though it says organic. It still means you shouldn't eat it. All right. So you're trying to make healthier choices.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to tell you about something that I found. First of all, do you have a goal?
I do have a goal.
Okay.
Lots of them.
Lots of them. Okay, but you have one concerning your health.
I do. I want to be more healthy because my daughter's 5 and she's starting to get into sports and I want to be able to help her train. So
yeah,
kind of my why is set in front of me.
You don't want to be the chubby beer gut dad?
No.
Okay. Do you have a picture of yourself of what you used to look like 30 pounds ago that you want to get back to?
Yeah, it looks good.
Look how proud you were of yourself. Here, you're so proud of what you were then, and you didn't think anything of it back then. Isn't that sad?
Yeah, it is.
You know why that is? Is that when you don't appreciate what you have, you will not protect it. You will not safeguard it. And you will not care and maintain it. When you don't appreciate what you have, you will lose the blessing that you already have. And that's how we all start. Is that I remember when I was in high school, I thought I was fat. Dude, I was not. I had a 6-pack on my stomach. I was ripped head to toe. And when I began to see myself the way my stepdad used to speak to me, I saw myself fat. Now here it came. And now I had this insulation on top of that beautiful muscular structure that I had because I was a basketball player. So I insulated myself with, about 3 inches all over my entire body of fat on top of it because I began to see myself as he spoke of me instead of seeing the truth of what I had. And I didn't appreciate what I had, so I lost what I had. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue this conversation right after this.
Are you failing at being a loser? When we come back, Dani will share one important thing you must have if you want to lose weight. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success. Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what families are dealing with in the poverty-stricken village of Santa Pancha, Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic food, water, and housing needs. We are transforming that village. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation to Santa Pancha. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org.
Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First steps to success, register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS.
I'm so blessed that I found what is in Grooming the Next Generation for Success. This is a book that is being taught in universities around the world. It's been noted as the best book on parenting that has ever been written. Crazy, if you ask me. But the point is that this thing gets results. Get your copy today, 888-757-8880. Again, that's 888-757-8880. Or go to DaniJohnson.com. That's DANI Johnson.com. Get your copy today.
Did you know you can take the Dani Johnson Show with you wherever you go? It's never been easier to stay up to date with the latest content from Dani with the DaniJohnson.com app. Watch or listen in the car, at the gym, or on the go. Download it now from the App Store and Google Play and never miss a show again. Your family, business, and bank account will thank you. If you've ever wanted to make millions, change the world, be the voice for the voiceless, and have a blast doing it, then you need to spend some time with this lady right here. She's been doing it for years, and she'll show you how. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
What you don't appreciate, you'll lose because you'll not put time into maintaining it. We're talking about that body you used to have that you wished you had, wished you could go back to it. I got Mike Haney on the phone from York, Pennsylvania. He said he gained 30 pounds when his wife was pregnant with the 2 babies. He gained the pregnancy belly along with her, and now he wants to go back to what that was. So we're talking about that we have to have a goal, right, Mike? We have to have a goal. And when there's a definite purpose, then you got to have a plan. And so you said you're at the grocery store right now, staying away from the middle.
Yep.
Step away from the macaroni and cheese.
Doing good. Doing good.
Go for the healthy living food. That's part of your plan. But what's some other things that are in your plan?
As far as health goals?
Yeah.
Just completely being a little more active. Since Dynasty, I stopped watching TV completely, other than just my training videos as far as like Time Secrets and Grooming the Next Gen.
Nice.
Not watching TV. So I'm staying more active.
That's
not sitting on my tush, lazy guy stuff.
Mike, how old are you?
34.
34. Wow. Okay, now isn't it so interesting how we can start a habit in our life that also aids in us gaining weight, which is watching television.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so watching television actually causes us to lose muscle, gain weight, and buy things we don't need. So I'm really proud of you that that was another part of your plan. So when you say to get more active, what are you doing to get more active?
Obviously, while not watching TV, I'm actually up more in the kitchen, helping out around the house more, spending more time with the kids, running around playing with them, jumping on trampoline, just not being just by the flavor of the TV.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
I hit hard at Dynasty with idolatry, and I can give you movie quotes from the 50s, but I can barely give you 5 quotes from the Bible. Hit me hard.
Wow. Okay, wow. So if you've just joined us, I've got Mike on the line. He's a client of ours. Creating a Dynasty is what he's talking about. That's our Advanced Leadership Conference. And he's saying that since Dynasty, which just is a short while ago, he made some huge changes in his life. Dude, that's huge. That, you could quote movie, what do you call that? Movie scripts.
Yep.
But can't quote scripture.
Yeah, that hurt. That was a very wide opened, hey, you need to come back to me.
Yes. Wow. That is incredible. That was a revelation you personally had, because I don't think I said that from the stage.
All you said was check where your gods are. Check what are you idolatizing? What are you putting before him? And that hit me hard.
Wow. So now it sounds...
playing the music of like all the songs we do back in the day.
Yes.
All I could think of was like movie. I could tell you every single movie line from Cary Grant to something that I watched, a month ago. So I couldn't give you 3 verses from the Bible.
Wow. Wow. So entertainment was your God.
Yep.
Wow. So you've turned off the television, and now you're spending time with your family.
Yep. I actually sold 2 of them.
Yes.
It's a major war on debt last weekend. So 2 TVs went, Xboxes, and whatever. It's gone. There's 1 television,
wow.
1 video for my movies or for like my training video. That's it.
My gosh, I'm so proud of you. I'm blown away. Okay, so Mike, how has this now improved? Because it's just been a few weeks. What has happened with your relationship with your kids? You're actually on the trampoline with the kids. You're involved with their life.
They're giving me all kinds of kudos, like, "Oh, you're so much fun, and we love you, Dad," stuff like that. I'm gonna choke up here.
How does that feel, Mike, for your kids to like know their dad now?
Yep, feels good.
Man. Okay, and you're helping around the house. Check this out. You ready for a stat? Here's something. Okay, so I got this thing that actually tracks my steps, right? I started, that's one of the things I got to like help me set goals and stuff like that. So yesterday, I cleaned my house for several hours, okay? I went crazy cleaning my house. Do you know that I burned 1,100 calories cleaning my house?
Wow.
1,100 calories in 4.5 hours of cleaning my house.
That's a lot.
That's a ton. And mind you, that's how I've maintained my weight all my years is because I clean my own house. I do my own cooking. Do you know what I mean? I've always done that kind of stuff. But when I look back, I'm like, that's why I've been able to stay a size 6 is because part of my activity, even though I don't work out, which I'm attempting to do that now, walking, jogging, I'm starting to do that now. I realized that, wow, part of my weight maintenance program was cooking dinner and cleaning the house. Now, if I would have realized that I was burning all those calories all those years, I would not have griped that my husband wasn't helping. It was actually a gift. He's the one that got the gut, and I didn't. So last night I told him, I said, I burned 1,100 calories cleaning the house. He's like, dang. I said, yeah. And it took like 9,000 steps too, cleaning the house. So yes, you're welcome. But this was a gift for me too. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Be sure to tell a friend about the Dani Johnson Show. It just might be the key to the breakthrough they need. Stay right here for more of the Dani Johnson Show.
This is your chance. This is your shot. Get your copy of War on Debt right now. There's one waiting for you that has your family's name on it. And inside that package is freedom. Your family's freedom is on the inside of that package. All you have to do is open it up, press play, and start applying what I teach you in this program. 888-757-8880. You and I are going to help your family become completely debt-free in the next 5 to 7 years. Just imagine how that's going to feel.
Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First steps to success. Register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS.
So 4 years ago in July, we showed up to our first Dani Johnson event, our first steps to success. And we were completely desperate in every area of our life. At the time, I thought it was just because of our finances, but then I figured out pretty quickly that it was because of my lack of people skills that we were where we were. We sat in the front row. We got fast track, and we sat in the front row right in the center next to some amazing people because we were so hungry, so desperate, so broken, and I pretty much cried through the entire event, honestly. And when she did the War on Debt, which she will show you, this afternoon, I went back immediately and got it. She had just started talking. I heard a couple stories, and I was like, if they can do it, I know we can do it. So we went back and got it and listened to it on the way home in the car, because we drove from Michigan all the way to Missouri. So we listened to it in the car, and when we got home, we immediately got our papers out. We wrote down our plan, and we started applying it. And within 14 months, we paid off over $62,000 worth of debt. We never in a million years thought that was possible. There's so much that has happened in the last 4 years, and I'm the person that wants the results immediately. I don't like the process of getting there. I want to just get there. But I've learned to appreciate the process, over the last 4 years, and just seeing the transformation that has happened in us. Personally, we individually experienced different things, and we experienced a lot of things together. I was paying our bills. I was completely disrespectful to my husband and didn't really know how bad it actually was. And so that part of our life is still improving. I can say we're a work in progress. It takes time, and we have grown so much.
We showed up. My wife, I didn't know this at the time, but she was battling thoughts of suicide. I had no idea. I thought I was being a perfectly good husband. I did my best to serve her, be a great guy. But what she needed was somebody who would step up and be a leader in our marriage. That's not who I was. And I was totally emasculated, physically emasculated by, there's someone in our church, the pastor, and so we felt the brokenness of a church, having to leave and just hurt, and devastated. One of the biggest breakthroughs started in our marriage is when Lucy started being a wife to me. And I, as a leader, I should step up, right? Take action first, be the initiator. She did it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a completely different person. And I can tell you, our marriage has just, it's amazing the difference between her feeling suicidal, me stepping down as a leader, to me taking the initiative and just looking her in the eyes and saying, honey, thank you for allowing me to be your leader. And she just melts every time. This is awesome. So. So let me just tell you this, guys. If you're struggling, or you're broke, you're wondering what your next step is, hey, just take action. Follow those notes that you just took. Take action and do it, because your story is going to be here, and people are going to be inspired by your story. So are y'all ready to take notes? All right, let's do this. Help me welcome Miss Dani Johnson, America's favorite millionaire, to the stage.
So what is success? A big house? A big title? A big fat paycheck? Dani Johnson has had them all, and you need to hear what she discovered when she had them. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Dani, I've always been overweight, and my family's overweight, and my grandparents are overweight. It's just a generational thing. It's just a genetic thing. It's just the way it is, and I've just learned to accept that this is my life. Friend, do you realize that's exactly how I was? It's exactly how I was. My mother was 280 pounds. Both my sisters were 300 pounds. The man that I thought was my father was 350 pounds. And when I looked at that structure, and here I was, and I believed I was fat and ugly as my stepfather had told me my whole life, and I started to get that way because that's how I saw myself. I saw myself through the lens of somebody else who had a heart that was hurting, and they buried their hurts and their pain with food. And I started to accept that this would be my body, this would be my life, and it doesn't have to be that way for you. So if that's your excuse, it's time to confront that. Just because that's the way things have been done in the past doesn't mean that it has to be for the future. You're in control of what goes in your mouth. You're in control with how much activity you actually do on a daily basis. You're in control of your physical body. You're in control of your health, and your health is real wealth. It determines how much time you spend with your family. It determines really how you feel about yourself in the marketplace. It determines also where you spend money, whether you're throwing it in the trash along with food, or that you are actually learning to build financial wealth because of self-discipline, self-control, and having a plan. So today I want to talk to you about something that's so important and so powerful. You see, the greatest success book ever written has one of the most powerful quotes where it says the entire success book really all boils down to two things, two concepts, two important principles. Number one, love God with all your heart, with all your strength, with all your soul, and all your might. And love your neighbor as yourself. If you don't love yourself, I'm not saying worshiping yourself, but if you don't love yourself, you'll not take care of yourself. In fact, you'll invite things like becoming addicted to entertainment, as we just heard Mike give that story. where he was ignoring his family, gained 30 pounds. He had like all the video games and he could quote movies from 50 years ago, but he couldn't quote 3 scriptures. He realized he's neglecting his family for his addiction to entertainment. His God became entertainment, even though he said his real God was the one true God. So much humility to be able to confess something like that. So when we hold up our truth higher than the truth, which is we're supposed to love our neighbor as ourself, which means we're supposed to care for ourself. Are you caring for yourself? Let me say that again. Are you caring for yourself? Or are you destroying yourself with GMOs, with entertainment? Are you destroying yourself with junk food, drive-thrus, Starbucks? Are you destroying your health, which puts a crazy amount of pressure on your friends and your family members that are around you? What are you doing with this physical body that you've been given, which is a gift? What are you doing? How are you treating you? How do you talk to you? What stands in your way of you hitting your goals, your health goals? We've got Dani Webb from Arizona. Dani, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Thanks, Dani.
Hi. So what gets in your way of your health goals?
Occasionally it's cravings.
Yeah.
That and excuses.
Yeah.
Recently I've refocused. So, well, first of all, congratulations on losing 14 pounds.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
But recently I've refocused and recentered myself to commit to, just getting back to the basics with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And not making excuses and pushing away cravings, mind deterrent. If I find that I'm craving something, it could be food or if I crave alcohol or a cigarette, anything right. That your body craves that, the devil's trying to knock on that door and say, come on, you need this. Mm-hmm. My go-to is prayer, because that's going to be the first thing that drives him away.
Yes.
Yes. And, and just going back to my why I committed to a better health and a better me.
Yep.
You know.
So what is your goal?
Bottom line, my goal is honestly just to be the best role model that I can, not only to my children and my family, but to those around me. Okay,
but Dani, that is a very ambiguous goal.
It is.
Nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. So what happens is when we don't have a very specific definiteness of purpose, what happens is it opens the door for excuses and cravings. So when something becomes very crystallized, that's when you achieve the goal. So let me give you an example. About 6-8 months ago, I decided that I want to look better at 50 than I did at 40. And I know what my weight was at 40. And so I know what I want to get to. And again, I can gain 25 pounds and still wear the same size clothes. They just don't look the same. The clothes don't look the same.
Right.
So, so one of mine is like a no way, never going to do is allow myself to go up in a size. So my clothes have been kind of an accountability for me, right? Mm-hmm. That's one of them. But one of the things that I decided is I want to look better at 50 than I did at 40. Okay, so I've been looking up and becoming very, very specific. So right away I looked up, and my daughter Christina is the one who inspired me to do this, is that you have to have a goal. She's lost 100 pounds. And you have to have some visual effects for that goal. And so I decided, what do I want my body fat to be, right? I want to get my body fat down to 18%. I'm at 22% right now. So, but I was 26% when I started. So I want to get it down to 18%, which is super low for someone that's 50 years old. That's really super low. So then I Googled and looked, 50-year-old women with 18% body fat, or just 50-year-old fit women. What do they look like? I'm like, dang! dang, they look better than 20-year-olds, right? So then I don't know if you saw this video, Dani, of an 82-year-old woman, probably a great-grandmother, 82 years old, and she is a competitive bodybuilder.
Yes, I know the video.
That has spoken to me. There it is. That's my goal. 82, I'm going to look like that.
Yeah.
Seeing the way she moves. She's got a six-pack on her stomach. Her arms are ripped. There she is in a bikini, a French cut bikini on a stage. What? At 82? Now, mind you, she's of African descent, so of course, her skin doesn't crack. She doesn't get wrinkles. I am confident that my skin's not going to look like that at 82. But if my body looks like that at 82, hello, I will be sporting that two-piece bikini. Right. No question at 82. So I'm imagining, you could just see the glistening in her eyes, and the self-discipline that video was showing, right? She gets up at 2:30 in the morning. She starts with her prayers, and she teaches classes for old people.
Right.
And those old people are probably 62. So, and I have other role models and inspirations too. My husband's grandfather ran his first marathon at 72 years old. And he's completely fit. He's going to be 90 this year. And so that's inspirational. So you got to have something very specific, Dani, because when you have something very specific, it keeps excuses at bay. And then here's another thing. Once you come up with that very specific visual, that goal, then it's come up with a very specific plan. And then find where your weaknesses is. So when is it that you have the cravings? You see, I found my weakness. My weakness is the weekend. My weakness is Shabbat. My weaknesses are parties. My weekends are celebrations. Because in your head, you're like, oh, it's someone's birthday. I have to have a cake.
There's an excuse for everything.
Right. And so what I notice is there's birthdays all the time.
There's going to be something all the time.
Always. And there's always something to celebrate. And I'm one of those celebratory eaters. So there's always something to celebrate. It's yay, we're going to have some wine. We're going to have a big dessert. We're going to have 7 desserts. Oh, we're going to have a feast. And so I found that was my place of absolute weakness. So what I want you to analyze with you is go back and look wait a second. What provokes the want for the cigarette or the alcohol or the food cravings? What is provoking that? Where is my point of weakness? And then what it is now that's the new goal right there. I'm going to make it through this first time of weakness. I'm going to make it through the craving for the cigarette or the alcohol or the whatever. If I could just make it, just like me, if I could just get through my first weekend of not screwing up.
Right.
And then it was I'm going to make it through the next weekend of not screwing up.
Right.
And then that's where the 14 pounds came off because I now had momentum versus gain and lose, gain and lose, gain and lose. So really identify that in you, okay? So
I actually...
hold on one second. We got to cut to a quick break, okay? This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
Coming up next on The Dani Johnson Show, Dani explains the difference between a weight loss goal that will fail and a goal that will succeed.
This is your chance. This is your shot. Get your copy of War on Debt right now. There's one waiting for you that has your family's name on it. And inside that package is freedom. Your family's freedom is on the inside of that package. All you have to do is open it up, press play, and start applying what I teach you in this program. 888-757-8880. You and I are going to help your family become completely debt-free in the next 5 to 7 years. Just imagine how that's going to feel. You want to succeed, right? But you do not want to fail God at the same time. There is a way to succeed from a biblical perspective, and it's far greater than anything you could ever imagine. Over 500 scriptures I studied to study money, everything that the Bible said about money. That's in the first couple chapters of Spirit-Driven Success. Not to mention leadership, working with people, growing a career, being used mightily in the marketplace, which is where Abraham, God used him in the marketplace. And Joseph, God used him in the marketplace. Moses, God used him in the marketplace. Daniel, Solomon, really all of the greats of faith, most of the greats of faith throughout the Bible, they all were in the marketplace, and God wants to show you how you can be used mightily by him in the marketplace. Right here, Spirit-Driven Success is where all of my notes are on how you can do that. 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880. Get your copy of Spirit-Driven Success today.
My name is Andris and I'm from Latvia. Prior to plugging into DaniJohnson.com, I was a struggling English teacher back home. I had a language school that I started when I was 21 and had grown it to be pretty okay in my city. But at the same time, I had acquired a debt of $60,000. In a matter of 8 to 9 months, I got rid of my debt, and by 2011, we had our first $1 million year. This has been amazing. We grew our school from about 100 students to 2,000 students, and I can only highly recommend for you to come to the next event and be part of this community and learn the tools that will help you to succeed.
Prior to plugging into DaniJohnson.com, my family and I were hemorrhaging under the pressures of debt. Since attending First Steps to Success in January of 2014, my family and I have paid off over $147,000 in 19 months. We're completely consumer debt free. We have restored relationships, and our business is growing at a rate of 15% at every event. Your next step is to sign up for the next First Steps to Success and start creating your own story.
My name is Jeff Conyers, and prior to First Steps to Success, I was a struggling business owner. I had discovered that my business account went negative $5,000, and I realized that I did not have a business plan and I needed to do something. Fast forward to 1 year after, I have now created, just by implementing the tools at First Steps to Success, over $50,000, created another business, improved my personal and business relationships. Man, it's like the story is forever changing, and it just gets better and better. I don't know about you or what you're going through, but I would highly recommend getting to First Steps to Success.
Prior to plugging into First Steps to Success, we were drowning under a mountain of debt. We were heading to divorce court. We had failing businesses and toxic relationships. Since plugging into First Steps to Success, our marriage has been restored. We have paid off over $56,000 in 11 months. We've helped our community pay off over $300,000 in 14 months. My business has grown in over 600% in 4 months. And for the first time, I could say I'm just loving life. I have great relationships. So if you are fine where you are, then this event is not for you. But if you're ready to reach your goal and to change your life, then I highly recommend that you get registered for the next event.
Hi, my name is Jill Kearns. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Prior to coming to First Steps to Success, my husband and I were struggling financially and were hurting in our relationship a lot. We needed more time together, and we just were struggling with that because of the finances. And so since plugging in, we've actually paid off over $280,000 in debt. We're completely debt-free, and more than anything else, the look on my husband's face of relief and excitement about where our future lies, and the traveling and the fun, enjoyable times that we'll get to spend together as a family is totally worth it. So if you want to have better relationships with your significant other, your children, if you have a desire to be completely debt-free and released from that bondage for whatever reason, whatever the burdens are, your next step is to get to First Steps to Success right now.
So prior to getting started to DaniJohnson.com, I was a college dropout. I was working a bottom of the barrel type job. I started plugging into her training. I've skyrocketed through the ranks of corporate America. I've tripled my income in the last 5 years. That's all fine and dandy, but it wasn't, there's a part of me that had a part missing. So I ended up using Dani's prospecting skills, and I ended up meeting the love of my life. Since then, we've paid off $32,000 of debt since October 2014. So get here now. This is the greatest thing ever. You have to see this. The skills and strategies Dani teaches are unbelievable. They totally took someone like me with no education and helped me just like multiply my efforts. So you need to be here.
It's time to take on a whole new mindset. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
So what's your place of weakness that causes you to fall down? Quit trying to ignore it. Instead, identify it. And once you identify it, then you can clobber that sucker. And you can even prepare yourself in advance to succeed against it. Joining me, Dani Webb from Arizona. We're talking about the goal of better health and better exercise. We've been talking about vision, and that it's important to have a very definite, very specific goal, like this video that has climbed all over the social media arena of an 82-year-old grandma who is a, competitive bodybuilder, number one. She looks amazing. She looks like she's in her 40s, not 82. That's one of my goals. Like, not that I want to be a competitive bodybuilder, but I want to look great at 82. I don't want to look like 82 looks, where I've seen it look most of my life that I've seen 82. I've never seen someone like that person. Dani and I were also talking about identifying our weaknesses. So, Dani, what causes you, what happens? You see, there's something that provokes the craving. Do you understand? There's something that provokes the craving, and that's what you have to identify, is what provokes my craving.
Honestly, I think for me, my cravings have subsided quite a bit. I actually did make, and I didn't touch on this the first part of our conversation, I did make a very specific goal for myself, and that was at the age of 42 to run my first marathon with my husband.
Go. Nice.
So
that's a very specific thing.
I was very focused and learned in the training process more about my body at 42 years old than I had ever known before. Reaching that goal, I became extremely disciplined. Found out what worked for me, what didn't, as far as foods. And, now that we've obtained that goal, I've set a new one.
Good job.
So my cravings really are, honestly, yes, they come and go, but they really are like the hard cravings are a thing of the past, because it's something that I never want to go back to. I'm just I know I said that it just being the best version of myself and a role model, but honestly, I want to be, that is a long-term, like forever goal, is to be the best version of myself. I'm always going to make smaller goals to obtain, hit and then move on, hit and then move on.
Yes. But it has to be so specific, and like you said, like running your first marathon at 42, right? That was a very specific thing, and then you back it out week by week by week. Okay, what has to change in order for me to run a marathon? I need to change the way I'm eating. I have to change what I'm doing physically with myself every single day. I got to cut some things out of my life that are not helping me get to this goal. And I'm so proud of you. Congratulations that you did that, and it's forever identifying and really dwindling it down and making it very, very specific. When a goal is ambiguous, it does not inspire us to reach past the excuses or to reach past our cravings, if you will. Good job, Dani. I'm so very proud of you. Congratulations on that marathon, and congratulations on the next thing that you're working on as well. And thanks for that input. We got Cherie Dickerson from Johnson City, Tennessee. What about you? What seems to jump in your way?
Hi, Dani. Thank you so much for having me on the show today.
Yes. So what about you?
Well, I don't actually have a plan in place when temptation hits. I seem to have gained and lost the same 7 to 10 pounds in the past 15 years. I have found that.
Wait! I have to repeat this to you because it's so funny. Look at your phrase. It's so cute. Okay. I don't know why it struck me as funny, because I've said the same stupid thing, right? I have somehow gained and lost the same 7 to 10 pounds over the last 10 to 15 years. It's like it's the same 7 to 10 pounds. It's so true, but like when you look at it, it's like I keep finding the same ones. They're not a different 7 to 10 pounds. It's the same stuff. I took it off and I put it right back on again. Don't you hate that? It's like bad habits. Okay, so what causes you to gain it back?
Well, I think that a lot of it has to do with after listening to everyone else, is my coffee addiction and not eating breakfast. And so, therefore, my metabolism is shot. I won't even eat till 12 or 1 o'clock and realize,
whoops,
hey, I didn't even eat today. My adrenal glands are absolutely shot.
Yep. And then when do you finally eat? Do you sometimes go past 1 o'clock and go, well, I'm actually not hungry?
Yes, I have actually went to work all day, 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I might be slightly hungry, get home at 4 o'clock and realize that I didn't eat because I was drinking coffee all day. It never even crossed my mind to even eat because I was too busy.
Okay, listen to me, Cherie. This is important. Could you imagine starving a child?
That's, to me, unthinkable.
Right? Could you imagine giving the child caffeine instead of food?
No.
Could you imagine expecting that child to perform at an optimal emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical rate on nothing?
They would not.
They wouldn't, would they? So, my daughter, how can you treat yourself like that? Because you are his child. And you are purposely starving the child's body. Purposely starving. Causing the body to feed off its own protein, its own blood, its own bones, which then causes future health problems. I think your Father in heaven is asking you to care for you. This has to stop.
Yes, it does.
You wouldn't think to starve another human being, but somehow it's
No.
okay to starve you. Something's not quite right with that equation. You are not a priority in your life. And you've done what many have done. You allow your size and comparing your size to other people's sizes. And Cherie, you and I have been on the planet long enough to watch a lot of sizes grow, multiply. But you're still small. So if my clothes fit okay, then I'm okay. I can abuse myself, starve myself, because at least I'm still this size. Got to change your goal. It's not about the size. It's about caring for you, loving you. You see, he gave you, and you are the only governor over that physical territory. You're it. So just as you wouldn't starve another human, but you would feed and care for and love it, it's time to do the same for yourself. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more right after this.
What multimillionaire do you know that volunteers their time to help ordinary people like you and me? There's only one. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success.
Put the Dani Johnson Show to work for you by advertising your product or service. The Dani Johnson Show has tens of thousands of listeners who are just like you. People who need what you're offering but just don't know it yet. Savvy business owners and marketing directors advertise on the Dani Johnson Show. To promote your products and services on the Dani Johnson Show, email john@danijohnson.com or call 866-760-8255.
Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what families are dealing with in the poverty-stricken village of Santa Pancha, Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic food, water, and housing needs. We are transforming that village. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation to Santa Pancha. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org.
More resources, more training, more results. The DaniJohnson.com Insider Membership is your ultimate success shortcut. Get exclusive access to reports, videos, audios, ebooks, cheat sheets, and other training for your personal and professional life. This is truly DaniJohnson.com's best kept secret. Become an Insider member today and get on the fast track to success. In your face and in your corner. You've never had a coach like this before. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
How do you treat you? Are you doing a good job in that department? Are you caring for yourself? Or have you just said forget it? Your health is really important. Joining me now, Stephanie Player from Michigan. Stephanie, how do you break free from the rut of not having good health goals?
Hi, Dani. This is Stephanie. Thank you for the opportunity to be on the call. I think listening not only to you share, but everyone else, the way that I'm going to break through my rut is learning to care for myself better, learning to love myself. I know what the right thing is to do, but I make excuses. I don't make myself a priority.
Yeah.
And this is why I continue to fall back in that same rut. Yeah. And spiritually, I know it's a battle, and I know that food is my addiction. It's the biggest area that the devil tempts me in. It's a battle with my family, and I just need to set healthy boundaries for my life and for my children and my husband, and start getting out there and doing what I know is right.
Yes.
So I think really this call has helped me to see that. It's not about somebody else's journey. I can't compare myself to what somebody else is doing. And I have to love myself and do what's best for me.
Yes. And loving yourself certainly doesn't mean worshiping yourself, but it means caring for yourself. You care for your husband, you care for your children. But when you don't care for you, you can't possibly care for them as well. It becomes unbalanced. It becomes toxic. And this is why we have to, both mothers and fathers, all human beings, need to make sure and see themselves as a child of God. And how we care for our own children, we should be caring for His child the same way, with the same care and thought and discipline and focus and determination, with the same self-control. I hope that today you enjoyed this program. If it has helped you in any way, please contact us. If you go to DaniJohnson.com, you'll see it as a tab that says Watch. That's actually where today's show is. Right at the very bottom of the show, you'll see where comments are being left right there. And please join us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under Dani Johnson Live. That's one N and an I, Dani Johnson Live. We'd love to connect with you. We'd love to hear about what's going on in your life. We'd love to know if you have any questions, anything that we could help you with, or to kind of point you in the right direction, or maybe just to pray for you. Because sometimes, hey, we're only human. We don't have all the right answers. Please also, if this is your first time joining us, come on over and get your free gift. We have First Steps to Wealth right here. It's how I went from homeless to millionaire, who now gives millions of dollars away to the extreme poor. First Steps to Wealth, we have a free copy available for you. You can find it on the website or call the office. God bless you, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Did you hear that last segment? Do you know someone else who needs to hear it? Go to DaniJohnson.com, find today's show, and share it online. This has been the Dani Johnson Show. Join us every weekday at 7 a.m. for more insights that will help you get to the life you've always wanted.